What was that? That was a year ago, that was.
Was it a year ago?
Yeah. When did Simon have his debut?
May.
Well, it's coming up to a year ago. Look what's happened in a year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're getting in April now already,
Yeah.
ain't we? God, this year's flew. I keep thinking like it's early in the year. Where the time goes.
It does. That's what happens when you're a lady. You got to make sure your bits are hanging out everywhere. my little fucking bits. Been flattened all the time. Sorry. Is that gone?
Yeah, he's been around sparring. He's had some good rounds with Lawrence Okoli. He was over with Dylan Whyte, wasn't he?
Yeah. In fact, where is Edwin? He's not down the Thai massage place again, is he?
Oh, he's been down there. He's been down there 2 days on the trot, hasn't he?
Wow.
He enjoys it down there. He's gone to something to eat now.
Oh right, is he a bit worn out? Is he?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I've seen him mixing it with like real good fighters, Kal Yafai, Gamal Yafai, Stuart Hall. Over the years, he was over sparring Inoue, is that his name?
Yeah.
In Japan, a good account of himself. They want him back over there, so he just needs this opportunity now. It's got to be a fine balance, doesn't it? I mean, you can't have someone who's a clown and can't fight. Do you know what I mean? It's just a fine.
Been flattened all the time. Sorry. Right then, October Red Boxing here with the lovely Max Mccracken. Max Mccracken is the manager of Matty Harris, who tonight fights. What's his name? Metzi?
He's got the same name as Matt, and Matt Metzis.
Okay.
He's Estonian, isn't he?
Yeah. So what do we know about his opponent?
We've seen him before. He come over and fought Jose, didn't he? On Jose's debut. So we had a good look at him. But he's been over a few times. I think he's had 4 fights. He hasn't won any, but he hasn't been stopped yet. So it just shows he's got a bit of durability,
Yeah, when we saw him yesterday, because to me, obviously I saw him on the November bout when he fought Jose, he looked completely different. I wouldn't say he's in the best of shape, but he looks slightly better now than he did when he fought Jose.
Yeah, he doesn't. I mean, I don't know what kind of training he does, but I don't know what he'd be like for sparring either. There's only one heavyweight over there, and that's him. So
right, okay.
I don't know, but I think he'd be reasonably fit. He'll look after himself. He looks quite healthy. So I think he'll come and put up a bit of resistance. So we'll just see how Matt copes with it, and hopefully he gets the job done and looks good. Especially on like a big opportunity on Sky.
Yeah, when you talk about obviously he's going to put up a bit of resistance in Matt's second fight. I mean, how do you then plan out and look at the matchmaking and think what is the best for your fighter? Because obviously Matt is not your only fighter. You're experienced in boxing. You understand the sport better than most. So when you're looking at matchmaking for your fighters, what attributes or what are you looking for your fighter to go up against?
Well, it's no point getting them someone that's just going to fold in a round or a second round. It's just pointless, and no one wants to watch that. So you want someone that's going to give them little tests, Hosea, he gave like 8 stone away to Hosea, and he stuck it out in there. Hosea was on top of him, leaning on him, so it just shows that he's got something about him. So, like I said, there's easy little test for Matt that he should be coming through. If we think he's the fighter that he is, he's got to be doing, looking good against kids like this. So, it's a good opponent for his second fight.
Yeah, and like I said, I was saying to Matty yesterday, I was saying, does he feel a little bit of pressure? And when I say that, it's sort of like with the egotistical side, because, Matty's got a bit of an ego. Does he feel that pressure then, that he's going to want to get him out of there? Because Jose fought him last and got the win on points. He didn't stop him. Does Matt feel like he's got to make a bit of a statement with him?
Yeah, obviously it'll make a little statement if he stops him, but, I mean, he can't go looking for the knockout, because it never comes when you go looking for it. But I think in the back of his mind, he's looking to stop him, get him out of there, which, like we said, it makes a little statement for him, doesn't it?
Yeah, and what is that pressure like? Because obviously you're with the fighters day in and day out, and you have to get in their head, as it were. So what's it like when you look at your fighter, you look at the opponent, and you think what kind of pressures they're actually under? Because big lights, SkySports boxer, how many homes, I don't know, it's broadcasting. There's a lot of pressure for him.
It's a big opportunity for him, isn't it, getting on this? I mean, on the performance now tonight, we'll see if Sky want him back on or not. And we're hopefully he puts in a really good performance, and they want to look at him again. They want him back on. So like this opponent, we think it's the perfect opponent for an opportunity like this.
And how's Matty been getting on in training? How's he been in, obviously, the camp preparing? How's that gone?
Yeah, he's been around sparring. He's had some good rounds with Lawrence Okoli. He was over with Dylan Whyte, wasn't he? He sparred a good kid from Nottingham as well. He's only had a couple of fights. Lamar Griggs, that was good sparring. So he's had decent sparring for this camp, you know. And hopefully, you know, it shows on fight night tonight. He'll be nice and sharp and do a good job.
And in regards to his improvement, because obviously you've managed him since the beginning, would you say that you're starting to see slow improvements, or not even slow, but just improvements in the way that he is as a boxer?
Yeah, well, he's young, you know, he's 22, so he's got a lot of maturing to do. But like, they take a while, don't they? They're a little bit slower. So, like, you know, he's definitely making little adjustments here and there and coming on. And hopefully he'll show it tonight.
So if you were a betting man then, and you're looking at the two fighters, obviously you're going to back yours to win. How do you see it going from, obviously, Metzi's performance before? How do you see it going with Matty this time?
I just think Matt hits a little bit harder than Hosea. Hosea's a strong fighter. You know, he can punch, they can all punch it that way. But I just think Matt hits a little bit harder than Hosea. And, you know, if he comes in like he did against Hosea, squaring up, Matt should walk him onto something and, you know, and maybe hurt him, maybe get him out of there. But, I mean, you don't know. We'll see how durable this kid is tonight. We'll find out.
Yeah, he's quite friendly. I know he's been friendly with Edwin. They're taking pictures together. Yeah, Edwin is obviously Matty's main trainer. So he's quite a friendly opponent.
You think they were like long lost brothers, wouldn't you? Two of them hugging each other and pictures and that, you know.
We won't go there about the traffic warden. But yeah, in fact, where is Edwin? He's not down the Thai massage place again, is he?
Oh, he's been down there. He's been down there 2 days on the trot, hasn't he?
Wow. He
enjoys it down there. He's gone to something to eat now.
Oh right, is he a bit worn out? Is he?
Yeah.
Interesting. So we're going to move on from that because obviously Matty's on this card. We're hoping that he's going to get the stoppage. Like you said, you know, big platform, a Wasserman fighter. You know, they've got both Matty and Jose as heavyweights. But we're going to talk a little bit about yourself and obviously your gym. You've got a new fighter in there now, a fellow Brummie.
Yeah, Raza Hamza. I've known Raza for a long time. He was up in Manchester for a while. He's got like family commitments up there, but he's back in Birmingham now. So he's out of contract. I've signed him on a management deal as well.
Oh,
so
congrats.
So we're talking to big promoters at the minute, and hopefully we'll have some good news for him soon. So
tell us a little bit about Raza. What's his weight and what's his boxing style, and why did you choose to manage him?
He's a featherweight. He's a massive featherweight, but he can box. He can fight. He was a brilliant amateur. He won a lot of titles as an amateur. He's unbeaten as a pro, 16-0. So like he's at a position now where he's ready to fight for titles. And I've seen him mixing it with like real good fighters, Kal Yafai, Gamal Yafai, Stuart Hall. Over the years, he was over sparring Inoue, is that his name?
Yeah. In
Japan, a good account of himself. They want him back over there. So he just needs this opportunity now. He's up at. He could have fought for the British and Commonwealth featherweight, but something went wrong. Something come up with with his ex-manager and all that. But he's ready to go now, Raza is. So hopefully we'll have some good news soon.
And what is it like then? Obviously, you've managed fighters before. You've been in the industry for a while. Do you think because of obviously the change in boxing, is it more like a market for the boxers now? Is it easier for them to get signed to promotions, or is it still a bit of a struggle? Is there a difference?
I mean, if you're a standout amateur, the big promoters come in for you, don't they?
Right.
But if you're just like a kid that's been on the smaller shows, you've got to take your opportunities and make this breakthrough. But the good thing at the moment is there's a lot of promoters and there's a lot of TV on boxing, so there's a few choices out there, But it's a good time for boxers. If you've got the ability and you can fight, you'll get a chance. You'll get an opportunity.
What? Who's in his weight category? I am really rubbish with the lower weights. Who is in his weight category?
Featherweight, well, at the top it's like Jock Warrington, isn't it? Lee Wood.
Right, yes.
You got that there. They're like the top ones, Michael Conlon and that. And I think the British is vacant at the minute. So but Raza's at the stage now where he'd fight for like an intercontinental or something, get a world ranking. But I know what you can do in the gym. I see it day in day out. But we just we need to get him on with a big promoter now and get these right fights for him.
And with the sparring, and I know you mentioned Inoue and they want him to go back over to Japan, they obviously like you. Because when they like you, they call you back. Either
Yeah.
that or they see you as a punch bag. But if they see you as competition, they're like,
Yeah, no,
"Come
I
back
think
over
he
here."
done well when he's he's enormous featherweight, isn't he? He's about 5'11". And he looked after. He's got a good defence as well, so he looked after himself while he was over there. And you got to be switched on with that. One mistake, and
Lights out.
Yeah, he can bang, can't he? So yeah, he's done well, and maybe he'll go back over there. We'll see where we are.
So how you finding it then to get him out there to try and get him signed? Because there are a few fighters. I've had a couple of fighters even ask me, for help, or can I push him in the right direction or whatever. How do you find it as a manager? Because you're inside of it.
Yeah, I've got the two main promoters now. They've got big TV deals, so I've got a meeting next week with one of them, and then the week after. So hopefully we'll get something from either one of those two. So he's in a good position, Razza, but it's just moving on now. He's like 28, but he's a young 20. There's no miles on the clock.
I was about to say, he looks really young anyway.
But he's young and, he lives the right life. So, yeah, we just get him moving as soon as we can.
So how do you then manage? Because you're managing him and you're training him. How do you find that to do the two? I know what your training's like. I like the way you train. I've been in the gym. I've seen what you do. But then how do you then multitask and say, I'm going to train you and manage you? How do you do that?
You're just pushing people all the time, to get him here and there, and so it's like it's like two jobs, isn't it? You're in the gym and then you're on the phone of an evening trying to get these meetings and these deals sorted out for him. But I'm confident with him because he's got a very good record. He's a very good fighter and he's a likeable kid. He's got a very good personality. He's got good charisma. So the promoters, whoever signs him, they're getting a really good fighter.
It's funny that because you mentioned about the charisma, because like I said, it can be a balance, it can be a mixture between the two. You can have somebody that's a really good fighter, and excuse me for saying this, they're really dim and there's just no character. Or you can get someone that's a bit of a rebel in the gym, probably a little bit mischievous, doesn't do as they're told, but their character speaks volume. How do you then try and
it's got to be a fine balance,
doesn't
it? I mean, you can't have someone who's a clown and can't fight, do you know what I mean? It's just a fine balance, isn't it? But you'll see with someone like Razza, he comes across well. He's got a really good story behind him.
I can't wait to speak to him.
Yeah, it's a sad story, but it's a big story, and he deserves to break through because I've seen the work he puts in, But yeah, let's just hope that he gets snapped up soon and he's onto the big stage.
Why did he come back to you though? Like you said, he was in Manchester. What made him say, you know what, I'm going back to Max?
Because he had a little girl up there, didn't he? A baby up there. So his girlfriend was up. He had to move up to Manchester to be with the baby. But I think they've split up now, so he's back in Birmingham.
So he was with you originally then?
Yeah, he was with me
Right.
for 3 fights. But he had to go. His girlfriend was pregnant, so she had the baby in Manchester. So we had to go up there. But I think they've split up now. But he sees his little daughter every weekend he has her,
Yeah.
So that's good. So yeah, he's not far from the gym. He's all, and you don't have to wonder where Razza is.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? He doesn't do much. He lives the life. His diet, everything. He doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. So he's one of them. He'll have longevity,
But how important is it though? Because I think you see a lot of, well, not a lot, I always say a lot, you'll see that some fighters don't live the life. As a trainer, as a former boxer yourself and as a manager, what are the pitfalls of not living that life to the T?
You can see it, can't you? It shows, doesn't it? It shows in the performance, it shows in the training. Late nights, you lack energy, if you're losing sleep, it's not good for the body. But they don't go on. Even the ones at the top that, they have big drinks in between, or, they're not on it, they're not living their life properly. It catches up with them in the end. And it's like what you eat. If you're eating the wrong foods, it's no good. Whereas like someone like Razza and Sam Solomon, that they're meticulous with their diets and their training. So, you can't ask for no more.
And you've gone on to mention Solomon. When can we expect to see him back out again? Because obviously he's had his operation. I've seen him in the gym. He's moving about again.
He's back light punching. So he's, maybe about 3 weeks' time he'll start sparring. And then we'll be looking end of May, early June, and he'll be back out then.
Nice.
But we just got to make sure it's 100% his shoulder. It's important where we are. We don't go too soon. But yeah, he'll be back soon. So I'm looking forward to seeing him, back fighting. He's going to make a big statement, Solly's, this year.
It's going to be good to see another fighter from Birmingham. I think the thing is we've got so much talent. I was just saying to Johnny Nelson and Spencer Oliver, that we've got so much British talent. It's like the UK is becoming the mecca of boxing. You're getting people from overseas that are wanting to come and fight here because of the energy that we get from the crowds, the fans. It's just like everyone loves boxing. So I remember when Crawford came over here with his team, they absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I think this is the home of boxing now. I mean, America in the 80s and that, it was all about America. I don't think they need to go to America now. You've got promoters here, you've got the fans here, you've got the shows here, the TV networks are here. Everything's here. So, you know, like I said before, any kid that's got anything about him will make it now. They'll get the opportunities. So it's, you know, really, really good for the boxers.
Absolutely. So with yourself then, finally, before we finish off, if there's a Birmingham boxer, or maybe they're not even in Birmingham, because Birmingham's quite commutable from practically anywhere, it's the Midlands. What if a fighter wanted to come to your gym, wanted to be trained by you or managed by you? What qualities and attributes are you looking for in a boxer to be part of that Max Mccracken camp?
Yeah, obviously they've got to have the right personality, haven't they? They've got to have the right attitude as well. So you can't be in a gym with someone that you don't really, you know, get on with. So they've got to be a nice kid, and they've got to be dedicated, and they've got to be ambitious. They've got to want to win world titles. I'm not interested in kids coming in and they don't want to win a world title. You know, you want to train world champions. You want to be at that level with them. So like that's really what they need to be like. They need to be ambitious and want to win a world title.
See, that's what we like to hear. So if there are any fighters that are interested, in fact, would you be taking on any more fighters? Because now have you got 3 or 4?
I've got 3 at the minute, haven't I?
Yeah. Would you be taking on any more? Would you?
Mate, they'd have to be the right person, wouldn't they? Because you put a lot of time into them and you spend a lot of time with them as well. So, like, you know, if the right kid come along, I'd have a think about it. But no more than 4's enough, because you've got to give them the right amount of time.
And how do you manage that time with, like, the sessions in the gym? Sorry, I said I was going to finish, but I'm actually interested in that. So you're practically going to be working like a full day in the gym is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Well, they've got their slots. They come in on their time, and you give them, you know, how long the slot is. You got to just give them your full attention, and that's it. But there's only some hours in the day, isn't there? You know, these big camps. Unless you've got someone else, I don't have an assistant trainer, but unless you've got an assistant trainer, it's hard. You know, on your own, just one person. Like, say you had 8 or 10 kids, you just couldn't do it. You know, they need pad work and everything. You know, you got to be able to watch them on the bag work. You know, the footwork, the head movement, everything. You know, so there's only so many hours in a day, unless you was working till 10 o'clock at night. But that's no good either, is it?
Yeah, because that's one thing I do know about you. You're very good with the technical side. We've seen it. You know, I've been in there and watched how you have them shadow boxing the old school way, shadow boxing for 20 minutes. That, you know, that's your warm up before you even start anything else. The old school style.
That's it. Well, you can see the mistakes, can't you, from shadow? Shadow boxing is really important for the time and everything, the balance, and it warms them up as well. It switches them on. They've got imaginary opponents in front of them. You know, it's always, you know, shadow box first, isn't it? Loosen up, stretch up, then shadow box, then start the boxing.
And then managing their, like, boxing time, and then obviously the strength and conditioning. We talk about that discipline, then being able to say, right, I've got my slot, I've got to go down maxes for whatever time, 9:30 till 10:30. Having that, you know, that strategy mindset to, like, fill their day up properly and live the life. What is a typical Max Mccracken plan in regards to their training? How do you like to set your fighters' week out?
Well, like, they'll box every day, 5 days a week in the gym. Twice a week with strength and conditioning, and like 3 times running. So, like, you know, they're training twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. So it's a heavy week, you know, and you know they usually have to rest Saturday and Sunday. You know, it's hard work. If they're not prepared to put the hard work in, they ain't going anywhere.
The importance of running in boxing training, because I've spoke to a couple of boxers and they don't seem to, either they don't like it or they don't really have running as part of their regime. Can you let the viewers know what the importance is in running?
I mean, it's good cardio, isn't it, running? It's great cardio. Helps you with your weight. You know, I mean, if you're on a run, even if it's, you know, it's pissing down with rain outside, you've got to get through that. Mentally, it's pushing you. Mentally, it's toughening you up, you know. I'm not saying pound the roads every day, but you want a couple of runs a week, and you want sprints as well. You want to go the track as well. So you've got to mix it all up. You know, there's different kinds of running. It's not just all 6 and 7 mile runs. You know, you mix your sprints up, you know, your long runs. You know, you might just go for a jog, long jog. So it's different really, but, you know, running's essential in boxing.
And that is a tough. I know what your training's like because I've seen it firsthand. I know, obviously, connected to Des, and we've seen what he does with the fighters in his gym. They come out in awesome shape. You two work really well as, you know, a boxing team.
Yeah.
Let us know a little bit about your relationship with Des and how that started. Because in Birmingham, what I'm trying to do is get out there the skills, the talent that our city's got, and the fact that they can come to you, you know, as a boxer, a boxing trainer, as a manager, and then obviously linking in with Des with the strength and conditioning.
Yeah, I've worked with Des for a long time now. Like, he's a family friend, Des. We've known since we were kids. We grew up with each other. So he was always around our house when he was like 12, 13, Des. But he's done really well for himself, and he trains a lot of boxers do strength and conditioning. Ben Whittaker's there now, Solomon Dacres. You know, you've got a lot of good fighters there. So, but I've worked well with Des, and you know, they go from mine, they'll go to Des, you know, 2 days a week, and it just works. You know, he's had a lot of champions. He had world champions, Gamal Yafai, European champion. You know, Ben Whittaker's down there now, Solomon Dacres. You had Jamie Cox there a few years ago. So like he's established, you know, this, you know, with boxers, with fighters. So yeah, it's a good partnership, you know. And we got a physio as well, Kasim, that works with the fighters as well. So it's all there for the, you know, whoever wants it, it's all there for them.
Would you ever think about merging into like one building so you've got everything under one roof? I know that you're out of the Acots Green Gym, that's the home for you. But because you work so well together, and then obviously you've got the different sessions, would you ever think about opening like a fitness centre where you're all together?
You could never write it off, but I think it's best kept separate, you know, and we're like a private gym as well.
Okay.
We don't like people coming in and out, and maybe if it was like separate, you know, in the future maybe, but at the moment it works well. It's not far, it's only like 2 miles from the gym, the strength and conditioning, but yeah, who knows though in the future.
I'm just trying to think it's all in one place. I'm just being lazy so I can film the boxers and then go and do the training.
Just handy for you.
And then maybe get a massage after. It's nothing to do with the fighters. I'm being selfish. Listen, Max, all the best for you and your team. Obviously there I'll be ringside this evening watching for young Matty.
Well, you'll be in the changing rooms as well when you're Abby tonight.
Oh, hopefully. Oh.
Yeah, I think you're coming in. You got a pass in that.
Oh, nice one. I do like it in the changing rooms.
Come on the ring walk with him as well.
Imagine. I could do a cartwheel across the ring and then get banned from all of SkySports boxer shows. No, I won't do that. But yeah, always a pleasure, Max. And I'll definitely pop down to your gym because I need to speak with young Razza.
Yeah, okay, that's great, Abby.
October Red Boxing, Max Mccracken. Until the next time. Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.